Hello and welcome to another Edinburgh Watch Company YouTube video. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video we have got 17 fantastic new watches that have just arrived into stock. So, where do we start? Well, what's better than perhaps a Rolex Daytona? So today's video is going to be a quick fire through these videos. We're not going to talk about them in great detail, and you'll get more information by looking on the website. So here we go. A Rolex Daytona. This is the 116520. This is a watch that's just come into stock. I think it's around about 2004. It's had just one owner from new and a fantastic provenance. The Daytona, of course, needs no introduction. A beautiful watch in stainless steel with a black dial with the silver sub-dials here. And this one is what I'd call the classic one with a stainless steel bezel on it. So it's just pumped back from a very gentle refurbishment there, and it is an absolutely lovely condition and certainly one to be enjoyed. Getting a good one of these, you can always tell by looking at the bezel, the condition of them, but this is a really, really lovely example of the classic Daytona. Now we have the new Daytona. This is the 116500. And this is probably one of the most difficult watches to get in the world. Of course, they come in either a black dial or a white dial. This one here, what's known as the Panda dial, it's an absolute classic. So functionality very similar to the black one we've just shown you, but it has a completely new look to the dial here. And the most noticeable thing here, of course, is the ceramic bezel on here. Black sub-dials, similar chronograph functions. This particular one is a one-owner watch from 2019. Now this watch has been worn, I'm told, literally 3 or 4 times, and the bracelet is almost perfect. You can just see the very lightest micro scratches on it. Now we normally send all of our watches away for a gentle refurbishment. I think with this one it's too good to send away, and I think the person that would like this one would probably just like to have it as it is. But so there we are, 2019 ceramic Daytona. So staying on the theme of the Daytonas, we're going for a bit of luxury and a spot of gold. This one we've got is the Ever Rose Gold, and this in fact is a 2022 Daytona in probably the most desirable of the colors there. Here it is in the chocolate dial. Now when this watch came out, I remember back in around about 2012, 2013, I remember getting one of these. The chocolate dial had like an Arabic dial on it. This one here, you'll see there, it has the index markers on it. So it's given it a new look to it compared to the oldest one. Of course, the benefit of that is that with the index markers here, they have a luminous coating on them as well. So making it slightly easier for nighttime reading. So again, like the white one we've just shown you, this has this ceramic bezel. So again, a new look to it, but it has the Oyster Flex strap on it there, which is just a very comfortable and new look to the watch. And I think it's an absolute classic. It really is. We've got this one very, very attractively priced. The market, of course, as many of you'll know watching these videos, you know, it has slipped back a bit now. These watches at some point were over 50,000 now. Again, go and have a look at the website. We've got it really well priced for you. And now we come to one of the absolute all-time classics, the Rolex Submariner. Now this particular one we've got here is a 2020 watch. It was bought new in January 2020, so the last year of production before the 41 mil came out. And I think for those, particularly the collectors who always like to buy the last year of the production of the watches, this would be a good one. So you've got here your maxi case on it, the ceramic bezel, nice powerful lume on it here. And it's just a really lovely, lovely watch. Very popular watch, and we're going to be doing another video coming up, I think next week. We're going to be talking about a diver's collection as well, and what would be the best dive watch for you, so please come and have a look at that when it comes out. But nice stainless steel bracelet there with the brushed links on it there, and of course the glide lock clasp as well. So that is a really really good example of the 40mm Submariner. Date. So a slight twist, a sort of keeping with a sort of sports theme, but for those that like to travel, many years ago Rolex brought out the GMT Master with a dual time zone on it. And this one here is a great example of this. This particular one was bought in 2018. So those of you that know your GMT Masters will know that this watch was discontinued in 2018 when it was only available then with the blue and the black, nicknamed the Batgirl, which went on to the Jubilee bracelet. So this, I think, is an absolute classic with the black dial, the black bezel, and you can see here it has the green hand for that second time zone. Again, it has the maxi case, very similar to the previous Submariner we showed you. The bezel here rotates bidirectionally, but the bracelet's slightly different. And this one here, you've got again the Oyster bracelet, but you've got the polished center links in the middle. And rather than having the glide lock clasp, it actually has an easy link function as well. So it does everything it needs to do, but it's quite slim on the wrist as well, which is nice. And it's a very, very popular seller and significantly cheaper than what you'd actually have to pay for, you know, one of the Batmans or the Pepsis. And then we've got a lovely one that's just come in here. Back in around, I think it was about 2007, when Rolex were looking at their Datejust range, and of course the desire for larger watches out in the marketplace, they brought out the Datejust II. And it was a 41mm case size, and it came either with a smooth bezel or the 18-karat gold fluted bezel. And this one's just come back in as a part exchange. It's a really great example, and you can see here it has the Azzurro blue dial, and in fact it's the Azzurro Roman dial, so it works very well. And I think you'll see the Roman numerals as they contrast against the blue dial. It's just a lovely, lovely look. So 41mm case size, you have the bezel here is like polished stainless steel. Again, that applies to the side of it here, and this is fitted to the Oyster bracelet there. So you can see you have the polished center links in it as well. This was discontinued around about 2017 when the Datejust 41 replaced it. They put the new movement in it, slightly slimmer case, slightly bigger power reserve, and a bit more resistance to shock and magnetism. These are quite popular for those that like something a little bit more substantial. It's a bit thicker, it's a bit heavier than the Datejust 41 that's replaced it. And they had some lovely, lovely dials on the Datejust II, and I think this one certainly is one of my favorites. So a really, really good example of a Datejust II, if that's one that you're perhaps considering. So sticking with the Datejust, we now go on to the new model, which is the Datejust 41, and this is an absolute classic. If you think about the bimetal Datejust, the 36, the steel and yellow gold with a champagne dial was always a really, really popular choice. Well, for gentlemen now, today I think the 41mm is the more popular size, and this one with a champagne dial, the index markers and the Jubilee bracelet is a very, very dressy watch. But when I say dressy, it really, as Rolex have designed these watches, they're not just for dress, they're really watches for all occasions, because they're made out of stainless steel predominantly, of course with a gold fluted bezel here, but it's a waterproof down to 100 meters, and with the extra resistance to shock and magnetism they built into the movement, and of course the 70-hour power reserve, it makes this a really, really practical watch. The bracelet on these two, while this has the Jubilee bracelet, the older ones had hollow links. These are more like the solid links on this now, so you're not going to get the same stretch. You can see there's no movement in it. That's exactly as new. This one, in fact, is a 2022 watch. It's really only been worn a handful of times, and I think we've got this very competitively priced as well. So there we are, Datejust 41, champagne dial, Jubilee bracelet, and just a little bit over list, but you know, it's very, very well priced. those looking at the Datejust, that sort of style of watch, may also consider the Sky-dweller. Now, we don't see many of these watches I'm about to show you because probably about as hard to get as a ceramic Daytona if you go for the blue dial here. So this is a 2022 unworn Sky-dweller with a lovely blue dial. You've got the index markers here. I'm sure those of you looking at the Sky-dweller will know what this watch was all about, but it's probably one of the most technical watches within the Rolex range. It looks like a Datejust from a distance because it has that sort of similar look and feel, but you'll see you've got the sub-dial there with the date function on it, but they so cleverly include a dual time function with a GMT, which you can operate just by turning the bezel on it here. So a very, 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 very clever watch. Now, historically, the Sky-dweller has been out with the Oyster bracelet, and it still is available like that, but they recently introduced this with a Jubilee bracelet as well, so it makes it a little bit lighter, exceedingly comfortable, and this is one of the most difficult watches you can actually get. And again, the prices of these watches, they were way up, 30,000 plus, not that long ago. The market has changed, and we've very much reflected that, and I reckon we've got this probably one of the most competitively priced unworn watches in the country. So if you fancy a blue Sky-dweller, that's definitely one to have a look at. We then go back in history, so probably back to around about the 1950s when Rolex wanted to produce a tool watch for those people working in areas of high magnetism, electromagnetivity, and God, I hope I've got those words right, but in the way that they build watches for people that travel the world, the GMTs, they build dive watches for those that like to spend their time in the ocean. Well, they brought out the Milgauss, and the Milgauss signified here by its orange second hand there with like a lightning strike on it. The case here is thicker than normal. Because there's another case actually within the case there to again give that extra resistance. But aside from that, this particular one, if I just tilt it there, you can see it's actually got the green glass on it. So this is the 116400 GV. I think this one is a 2021 watch. Again, in great condition. You again have the polished bezel there, black dial with the luminous markers on it there. You have the Oyster bracelet there with the polished center links. And again, this still is waterproof down to 100 meters. These look great as well with the rubber B straps on, like the orange rubber B strap gives it a slightly different look to it. But like the Milgauss, we've just actually sold a blue one and a black one, and this is the last one we've got in stock. So this one, I say, just arrived into stock. Those are the main Rolex we've got. Now you'll notice these watches, they're all guys' watches. We really could do with some more ladies' watches. Anybody watching, thinking about selling a ladies' watch, please get in touch, because as we start thinking about Christmas coming up, we're starting to buy watches in for Christmas. So we've got about 4 watches here to show you from Rolex. And first of all, this one here is the 28mm Ladies Datejust. Now this is an unworn watch. It's 2022, I think, with the silver index dial and the very pretty fluted bezel on it as well. So historically, the small Ladies Datejust was the 26mm. Now that's discontinued now, and 28 is the starter size, and then we go up to the 31, which I'm about to show you. But this one here has the new movement in it, good power reserve on it, again waterproof down to 100 meters. And these watches, they really are designed to be worn every day, not just something to bring out on a special occasion. With it is a really strong and robust watch, particularly this one here you can see on the Oyster bracelet. And this also has the Easy Link function there, where we can extend the bracelet just to make it a bit more comfortable on a hot day. So really nice Datejust, nice and simple color scheme. I think that watch really could be worn with any outfit. This one I'm about to show you is probably one of my favorites, probably because I love blue as a color. But this is the Datejust 31, and this watch was bought brand new in 2006. But just look at this dial. Isn't it beautiful? lovely dark blue there with the Roman numerals on it. Again, it reminds me of that Azura one. Let's just have a look at that Azura one. Not exactly the same color, but if you fancy treating yourself, you could have a his and hers, couldn't you? You know, 31 and the 41. Two absolutely cracking watches there. So 2006 Datejust 31 with a blue dial. We've just got this back from our service center. It's just had a complete service, so it's been completely stripped and rebuilt. Same time, we gave a gentle polish to the case and bracelet, and this has actually got a 2-year warranty until August 2024. You can see here, mounted on the Oyster bracelet. If I can just move it there, there's no play in it. This watch had hardly been worn, and it came as a part exchange. So a really, really lovely one. And then we go to the Oyster Perpetual. Now we've not seen one of these for a while, and I think this will be a really great one. If you think, as I say, back to Christmas time, it's going to be really hard to get watches in the lead up to Christmas. So if you're perhaps thinking about buying a loved one a watch for Christmas, then not a bad idea to go and bag one now and then put it away. Or now we're talking about there as a gift. You may be one of our lady audiences watching our video today and you want to treat yourselves. Well, this one may be worthwhile considering. This again is an unworn 2022 Oyster Perpetual. It's the 28mm, and you can see here it has this most beautiful pink dial in it with the index markers and the domed bezel. Now the bracelet on this one is the Oyster one, but it's brushed all the way through, so you're not going to get those little scratches that you get on the polished center links. And I love it. I think it's a really, really pretty watch. So as we now come to our last Rolex, and in fact ladies one for that, I've got something here a little bit different. Now we've had some of these in the past on leather straps, but never have I had one of these. This is the Rolex Cellini. It is a one-owner watch, and it was supplied new in Scotland, and in fact only went back to Rolex in 2021 for a service. But just look at it, it's absolutely lovely. I'm not sure how well the camera will pick this dial up, but it's a white diamond dial with diamond hour markers all the way around it. It's manufactured in 18 karat yellow gold and fitted onto the 18 karat gold bracelet as well. And I think it's absolutely lovely. Case size is around 33mm. I can't imagine many, I mean, size-wise, going back then when it was supplied new, it could have been a gentleman's watch, but more likely to be for a lady. I think it's going to be a lady who wears this watch today. So if you want something that's nice and easy to read, this has also got a quartz movement in it as well. So although it was serviced back in 2021, we have just sent it away just to ensure it's got a nice fresh battery in it for you. So it's going to be very accurate, but look how slim it is. Absolutely going to be lovely on the wrist. Price-wise, I remember this one, it's $7,995, which I think for a solid gold Rolex with a diamond dial, that's not a lot of money for a very special watch. So a huge contrast now. We've gone from something very dainty, very pretty for a lady in Rolex. Well, we're going to go for something really big here. And this one is from Breitling. And this one just came in as a part exchange. So if you're watching this video, thank you so much for parting exchanging with this. And this is the Breitling Super Avenger 2. Now it's a big boy. It's 48mm stainless steel, and it is in just great condition. It really is. It was lovely when it came in, and actually just before we got it, the gentleman who owned this watch treated it to a new strap, so it's actually got an alligator strap on it, which is very rare. I don't think you can get the alligator straps anymore with the sort of restrictions into importing them into the UK and various around the world, so a really, really expensive strap. You'll also see here, it's actually got the deployment clasp on it as well, so I'm guessing that combination will be about £700 for that. However, if you want to take this in the water, no problem, take the strap off, because it also comes with the Breitling rubber strap as well. And the gentleman who had this had quite a big wrist, so it's actually got the extra length straps on it as well. So the watch itself, quite a good seller for Breitling. They're good value new. It is an automatic watch with the chronometer. So again, accurate to within sort of -4 to +6 seconds per day. You can see here it has the 3 buttons on the side, so it has the chronograph function, and the bezel here rotates as well. Nice design on the back of it there, you can see, and just a really, really good all-rounder. $2,995 we're putting this out at. I think that's a lot of watch to have with 2 looks of straps on it, automatic. Lovely gift for someone with a big wrist, or someone who just wants a good sporty Breitling, perhaps someone that loves flying, that sort of anything around that field. So there we are, that is the Super Avenger 2. Sticking with a sort of oversized theme, we go to Cartier. We love Cartier, we do very, very well with them. And this watch we bought about 3 weeks ago, and this came from a local customer here in Edinburgh, and it is the Cartier Santos 100 XL. So the Cartier needs no introduction. This look and feel would be very familiar to people, but this is for someone that just wanted something fashionably big. You've got the polished bezel there, nice clear white dial with the Roman numerals going around it. It's a great looking watch. Lovely sapphire on the side there, you can see, and it's an automatic as well. And it's fitted here to the alligator strap with the Cartier deployant cast there as well. Still actually got its case sticker on the back. When we got it, I reckon this watch has been worn about 10 times. That's why the gentleman, sold the watch. He just wasn't wearing it. We did, however, send it away to our service center just to get some TLC before it came back, and it's absolutely lovely now. It really, really is. So great looking watch, Cartier 100 XL, quite a popular watch within the Cartier range, and you can't actually buy that one anymore. Although we've talked about Rolex, a company owned by the Rolex Group, but trading under their own name, is Tudor. And again, back to that video, if you love your Tudors and you haven't seen our Tudor video, we featured 7 Tudor watches recently, and this is probably the most difficult watch to get in the range. It's the Black Bay chronograph, affectionately known as the Panda, often compared to the Daytona. So you've got slightly different price point, but you can see why people compare the two together. It's a great looking watch, it really is. They've done a really good job with this. This one you can have with either the black dial or the white dial. White dial does tend to command a little bit more, and certainly has a longer wait list in the sort of Tudor boutiques for these. But in essence, it's an automatic watch, as you can see here with the chronograph function. Lovely red writing on the dial. You've got the date window down there at the bottom. Again, it's waterproof. It has the stainless steel bracelet there with that sort of old-fashioned rivet look to it. And it's a really good value for money. We've sold quite a lot of these recently. They go down very, very well. So that's it, the Tudor Black Bay chronograph. And here we are, onto our last watch. So those of you still watching, thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully you've enjoyed this quick fire look at these watches here, but what better watch to end up with the Amiga Speedmaster. Now this is one of 2 we have in stock. We have the latest model with the sapphire crystal and the sapphire case back, but we've also just got this one, and I think it's 2021. So this has the Hesselite crystal to it, and the back has the steel back to it there. But you'll notice it's got the new style clasp on it there, new style bracelet, and it's a lovely, lovely looking watch. So this is hand wound, but just a classic Speedmaster there, almost like a matte black dial, and a very, very handsome watch. And of course, we're selling this one on the list as well. So there we are, quick fire, 17 new arrivals, all on the website, further information about it. But of course, if you want to find out more, why don't you just give me a call, 077 65 896 896. If you enjoyed these videos, why not give us a thumbs up? Thank you so much for watching. Please click and subscribe, and we've got new videos coming along. Remember, every Friday, new videos along. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great week. Bye-bye.